New Lands, by Charles Hoyfort, Part 1, Chapter 7c. Professor Young's third proof is spectroscopic. To what degree can spectroscopy in astronomy be relied upon? Bryant, A History of Astronomy, page 206. That, according to Belopolsky, Venus rotates in about 24 hours, as determined by the spectroscope. That, according to Dr. Slipher, Venus rotates in about 225 days, as determined by the spectroscope. According to observations too numerous to make it necessary to cite any, the seeming motion of the stars, occulted by the moon, show that the moon has atmosphere. According to the spectroscope, there is no atmosphere upon the moon. Publications of the Astronomical Society of the Pacific, Volume 6, Number 37. The ring of light around Venus, during the transits of 1874 and 1882, indicated that Venus has atmosphere. Most astronomers say that Venus has an atmosphere of extreme density, obscuring the features of the planet. According to spectrum analysis, by Sir William Huggins, Venus has no atmosphere. English Mechanic, Volume 4, page 22. In the English Mechanic, Volume 89, page 439, are published results of spectroscopic examinations of Mars, by Director Campbell of the Lick Observatory, that there is no oxygen, and that there is no water vapor on Mars. In Monthly Notices, Royal Astronomical Society, Volume 27, page 178, are published results of spectroscopic examinations of Mars by Huggins. Abundance of oxygen, same vapors as the vapors of this earth. These are the amusements of our Pilgrim's Progress, which has New San Salvador's for its goals, or New Plymouth Rocks for its expectations, but the experiences of pilgrims have variety. In 1895, at the Allegheny Observatory, Professor Keeler undertook to determine the rotation period of Saturn's rings by spectroscopy. It is gravitational gospel that particles upon the outside of the rings move at a rate of 10.69 miles a second, particles upon the inner edge 13.1 miles a second. Professor Keeler's determinations were what Sir Robert Ball calls brilliant confirmation of the mathematical deduction. Professor Keeler announced that according to the spectroscope, the outside particles of the rings of Saturn move at the rate of 10.1 miles a second, and that the inner particles move at a rate of 12.4 miles a second, as they ought to, says Professor Young in his Gospel, Elements of Astronomy. One reads of a miracle like this, the carrying out into decimals of different speeds of different particles in parts of a point of light, the parts of which cannot be seen at all without a telescope, whereby they seem to constitute a solid motionless structure, and one admires, or one worships, according to one's inexperience. Or there comes upon one a sense of imposture and imposition that is not very bearable. Imposition or imposture or captivation, and it's as if we've been trapped and have been put into a revolving cage, some of the bars revolving at unthinkable speed, and other bars of it going around still faster, even though not conceivable. Disbelieve as we will, deride and accuse, and think of all the other false demonstrations that we have encountered, as we will, there's a buzz of the bars that encircle us. The concoction that has caged us is one of the most brilliant harlots in modern prostitution. We're imprisoned at the pleasure of the favorite in the harem of the god of gravitation. That's some relief. Language always is, but how are we to determine that the rings of Saturn do not move as they ought to, and thereby add more to the discrediting of spectroscopy in astronomy?